to you live right now on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. September is here. The leaves are falling. And that only means one thing. Football is back. And so is the Flex Zone Podcast with the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Joined today by my brother, my friend, my guy, the man who was watching every play. And he's going to give you his report card, his analysis like no other. Your friendly neighborhood D from Diaspora Net, D. Dobbins. What's going on, my brother?
Byron, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good after the win, but as always, it's always a but with the Ravens.
Like I texted people earlier, the Ravens continue to bring drama every Sunday afternoon.
Let the people know how to keep up with you on your channel. I'm putting it on the comment section, how they can keep up with what you got going on your channel.
Appreciate it, Byron. Sporting Network on YouTube here, and also on Facebook and Instagram. Had a wild football game on a high school level yesterday between Dundalk and Newtown. Let's just say Newtown pulled defeat at the jaws of victory yesterday afternoon. And we'll be having more high school football action coming your way, top teams here in the state coming up. But we're here to talk pro football today. And as I figured, Byron, the Ravens offense is going to start slow. Kind of did pick up in the second half, but injuries galore, mainly to our good running back that asked for a lot of money, J.K. Dobbins.
Yes, we're going to get into all of that. A lot to unpack here. Funny Rob, appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you, man. Congrats on the 1K views, man. Shout out to Funny Rob. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. Yes, D. Let's start at the beginning. Ravens win 25-9. It was an interesting game because, as you mentioned, they started out a little slow. Looking at the offense, let's start on the offensive side of the ball. And looking at what Lamar Jackson did, let's go down the stats real quick. Lamar Jackson was 17 of 22, 169, one interception, 6 carries, 38 yards. Zay Flowers, 9 catches, 78 yards as well. Also offensively, we had the Gus Edwards, 8 for 32. J.K. Dobbins, before he went out, 8 for 22 with a touchdown. Justice Hill, 8 for 9 with 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers had 2 carries for 9 yards. Bateman, 2 for 35, 3 for 35. Odell, 2 for 37. J.K., 2 for 15. Likely 1 for 4 yards as well. D, when you look at the offense, you mentioned they started a little slow, but in the second half, you've seen some of the things we were hoping to see under Todd Monken.
Yep, definitely. Todd Monken definitely brought a different flavor to the Ravens offense. You know, remember, folks, the Ravens didn't play in preseason together as a starter, so it's going to take them a little time to get gelled, get together. They did in the second half. You know, Zay Flowers is the truth. You know, he's going to run routes very well. He's going to do a good job of moving himself around, doing things. Odell got going. Thought Bateman had a decent game as well for what he likes to do. Definitely missing Andrews on the tight end spot. Definitely will miss him. We need him back next week. There's no doubt about it. Our tight ends didn't do much of anything. And the offensive line, Byron, very dismal today. They had injuries as well, but they did not live up to their end of the bargain, and they got to step up because, as we talked about, you did in the open, Cincinnati lost today, which I had them losing. That was my upset pick this. Wasn't surprised they lost. Kind of the way they lost is a little more surprising. They're going to be desperate. They don't want to go 0-2 in the division as well as overall. So the Ravens got to bring it next week.
Let's look at the Texans real quick because I was impressed with C.J. Stroud, D, number 2 pick. I know you watched him at Ohio State. I know you're familiar with his work. 28 of 44, 242. Other than that, Damian Pierce had 11 carries for 38 yards. Nico Collins, 6 for 80. Robert Woods, 6 for 57. Tank Dell, 3 for 34. Noah Brown, 3 for 20. What did you think about Stroud today with the Texans? I mean, a rookie coming in a hostile environment. I thought he held his own.
You know, we talk about preseason. You know, I jokingly call it FFL, fake football, stuff of that nature. But I got to see Schwartz last game against the Saints in preseason. He looked impressive then. Looked like he didn't have a lot of weapons that was going to be consistent. We kind of knew what Houston was going to do today. They tried to run the football. Pierce was kind of shut down. We also seen the Ravens depleted secondary. What they was going to do, they gave up a lot of third downs in the second half. It didn't cost them because Houston is a young team, young, first year head coach. Stroud, though, he's going to be impressive once he gets himself together. Some of the weapons gel. Not this year, though, because I think Houston this year is not going to do it. In the future, the Texans should be a much better football team. Stroud should be their leader in the
Let's talk about the Ravens defense because I think the defense was fantastic. Only gave up 9 points. Roquan Smith, 16 tackles. He had a sack. Brandon Stevens, your boy D, 12 tackles. Patrick Queen, 11 tackles with a sack. Darius Washington had a sack. Ronald Darby with 7 tackles. Marcus Williams had 4 before he went out. David Ajabo had a strip sack, D. Kyle Hamilton with 3 tackles. Matt Abike had a big game. He had a sack. This defense, D, it looks fast and formidable in the front seven. And if the secondary can hold up like this and you're getting that 5 sacks a game, that pressure, let's not forget the Ravens were third in sacks last year. Lost a lot of that with Justin Houston and Calais Campbell. But for Jabo, Matabike, we know Roquan, we know Pat Queen with some of those guys. If they can hold up, this defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
I was going to say the front seven of the Ravens should be the MVP today. They played very well. They would say they do a good job containing the run. Did a very good job at that. They contained a lot of short passes as well. But like I said, if the secondary can hold up, like you're saying, Byron, they'll be good, man, because that front seven looked good. Real good. Magabike was amazing. He was up front fast. Of course, Roquan Smith and Queen together as a unit is amazing. And always still had his always moments. You know, he missed a couple people, but outside of that, I definitely get the front seven. They get my only A minus of the game. They get an A minus.
Well, let's get to the elephant in the room. We talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. The injuries. Let's go to the injury report. We're going to talk about the injuries. Obviously, D, the biggest one, J.K. Dobbins. It's been confirmed by John Harbaugh. Torn Achilles, done for the year. We know the fiasco, the drama that was going on this offseason. Eric DeCosta didn't give him the big money contract he wanted. Running backs aren't valued as they used to be. And you kind of see why here, D. As we always say, hurt guys, unfortunately, seem to stay hurt. And with J.K. done for the year, looks like he will never play with Lamar, Bateman, Odell, Andrews, and the rest of the crew.
It's a shame, man. It's really a shame, man. Dobbins 2 years ago got hurt in the last preseason game against Washington. That's kind of why the Ravens has kind of taken their stance on the preseason now, like half games. And now he gets hurt in the regular season. First game, had a touchdown, was looking good, was getting used well, was looking like a great fit in his offense. And it's just tragic, man. What a shame, man. A lot of people saying trade him and get rid of him and all this. I mean, folks, if you haven't played football, it's a tough thing. Like his brother was out there half-stepping, trying to do his best for the team and the organization. He just got hurt again now. Will he get paid now? No, but hopefully somehow he can get healthy, get back, get right, do something well in football beyond this, because these several injuries, man, has been a killer.
Marcus Williams, D. He got hurt again, shoulder injury. We don't know the extent of it yet. I'm not sure if you are aware of it, but we can't lose him again. He was hurt last year.
Yeah, man. The secondary's already depleted with, Humphreys not being there. Roxham played, but I guess it's a good thing we didn't hear his name, and a bad thing, but we didn't hear his name in good things either. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like a 50-50 there, but Hamilton went out early in the game, and then he was able to come back. But they're saying a pec injury now for Williams. We just hope Williams can come back soon, man, because, again, you're dealing with a Cincinnati team. They was embarrassed today. They only scored 3 points. It's going to be their home opener next week in Cincinnati. You know they're going to want to come and throw that ball around a lot. So we're going to definitely – that front seven, boy, they played well this week. We're going to really need them next week.
Let's go to the offensive line. It was 2 injuries, Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Lindenbaum. We saw both walk off under their own power, though. So it looks like they may be okay, hopefully.
Two big injuries there, Byron. I start with Stanley. I thought Stanley didn't play well. Um, he really got handled at times physically. So we know he's not the biggest physical type of left tackle. He used more technique to kind of do what he needs to do, but just didn't have a good afternoon. Had a penalty as well, and then the injury hurt dearly. And then when you lose your center, it's always a big deal in football. Left tackle and center go down. That's like two of the three biggest pieces on your offensive line. So them two going down. But you said, Byron, they look like they don't look like long-term injuries, but hopefully they'll be back soon. And hopefully for Stanley's sake, man, because he's been hurt consistently the last couple of years, off and on. He can somehow get to the form he used to be, man. But it's not looking likely that he will just because of these injuries over the last 3 seasons.
D, I want to ask you. Let's go back to the J.K. injury. They bought in Melvin Gordon. They cut him, put him on the practice squad. They drafted Keenan Mitchell, number 34. He looked like he had some explosiveness in the preseason. You still got Gus Bus, who I sometimes wonder why they don't give him the ball more because it seems like he gets 4 or 5 yards every carry. What are you doing at the running back position? Justice Hill had 2 touchdowns today. He seems to fit Monken's offense a little better than Greg Roman's. What are you doing at the running back position?
Do we know how long Mitchell's out? Still, we don't know.
Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. So probably the first. I think they put him on IR, so that might mean the first 4 games at least.
Should be interesting there because Gordon coming in is kind of like Gus Bus. You need that explosive running back, and Dobbins was perfect for that. And now with him not being there, that's going to play a factor. Hill's going to have to step up. You know, they was giving him the ball more during the game today. But like you said, man, got to use Gus Bus more. He goes forward, he does his thing, and we need more diversity on that running side, man. Trying to use fullbacks as well, and maybe have to use a tight end at the fullback spot as well.
Having Lamar doesn't hurt as well either, D.
Amen.
Raj just walked in the building. When Raj gets back on camera, I want to get his perspective because he was at M&T Bank Stadium today.
Yes,
so shout out to Raj. Looked like it was electric down there. What did you think, D, before Raj gets on, about the offense? I know we didn't really go too much into it. What do you think was the biggest thing? We saw a lot of short passes, but some more screens, throwing to the running backs, spread out a little bit more, it seemed. And it seems like the running game still is going to be a focal point of this offense. That was a big question as well.
Well, to your point, Byron, I enjoyed the fact that the offense had more looks, had more diversity. It wasn't just, okay, we're just going to do this up the middle run, or we're going to do a slant pass. You know, it was more, like you said, screens, more getting more guys involved. Of course, Flowers, I call him the yak machine, man. Don't get yaks out of the cat. And it just the offense looked more. You're going to see as the year goes on, this offense get more efficient and more diverse. Every piece of it involved. And then, of course, like I said, we'll have Andrews back hopefully next week, and that'll be a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah, Zay Flowers looks to be Lamar's comfort guy without Andrews. He had, like I mentioned, 9 catches, but had 10 targets. So Lamar feels very comfortable throwing to Zay. Defensively, D. Well, let's go to special teams because I didn't even talk about special teams. I mean, you can't complain when you got Tucker. Jordan Stout looks like he's coming to his own as well.
You know, Byron, to your point, I thought special teams did well. You know, nothing major in a bad way. A lot of good, positive their way. You know, of course, Tucker is Tucker, Stout is Stout. And the return game really wasn't tested, so we didn't see too much of that today.
Let's bring in Raj. Raj, how you feeling, my guy?
It's been a long day. I'll tell you off air. But yes, I'm here. I finally got here. The Ravens game. Where do you want to start, Byron?
Well, let's start with this. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's only right.
I heard it.
Let's start with the offense. Todd Monken, you were a little 50-50 on him coming into the season. Zay Flowers, we love Zay. Odell, Bateman, no Andrews today. JK goes down. I'll ask you about that a little bit later. the offense. I just want to get your thoughts on what you thought on the offense. I know the first half they looked a little weird. Second half, like D said, they kind of picked things up.
The offense was slow in the first half. Lamar was juggling the ball a little bit. He wasn't controlling the ball too much. He lost the ball in a couple of possessions. The offensive line was awful, putrid. I'm not sure what was going on with them. JK, yeah, man, I feel bad for him, but like you said, we'll talk about that later. But the offense was just slow, man, and it showed that they needed to have a couple preseason games under their belt, and they just looked lost in the first half. Like they was trying to do too much when they didn't have to do too much against the Texans. But I mean, the second half they got it together. They went back to that bread and butter. They ran the ball effectively. Um, Lamar got the ball out of his hands because he was holding the ball out. But yeah, man, Zay Flowers, man, that brother can play. Like he might be the best wide receiver on this team, and I'm saying that flat out because he's the only person that can really get open. Bateman can get open a little bit. Odell was sluggish, but Zay Flowers was on it, and Zay was doing his thing. I think this is just the start of the season. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing for the rest of the season to come. But I enjoyed watching to see him out there playing. The offensive line, I'm hoping Stanley and Linderbaum is okay. I know Linderbaum hurt his knee. He walked off, which is a good thing. Stanley, I'm not sure about. I know Marcus Williams is hurt. But let's get to it, man. J.K. Dobbins. I feel so sorry for this brother because he didn't get his money in the off season. This was his last year, and for him to go down, I think in the second quarter to a torn Achilles is just terrible news. So I know he's hurting right now. I know he's really upset, and I hope that the Ravens do something for him. Honestly, I don't want this brother to actually leave, and I hope he does get some form of money coming to him because I know last year when Lamar got hurt, man, I know it wasn't that bad of an injury, but it could have been exactly the same injury that Dobbins had. So I'm hoping for the best for him. It sucks that he went down in the first game. But I also say this, man, Justice Hill, this is his time. Justice Hill can definitely do a lot of the things that JK can do. Melvin Gordon is an exceptional pro. Gus Edwards can get the job done as well. They got a plethora of running backs that can step in for JK. It just depends on who they're going to use, who they're going to use at the right time. But going forward, that offensive line has to get a lot better, man, because they almost got Lamar killed on a couple of those plays. If Lamar wasn't so shifty as he usually is, he could have extremely got sacked many more times than he did today. But hats off to him. He has to hold on to the ball as well. And I know it was ugly, but it was only one game. And hopefully going forward, they can, get a couple of the mistakes that they made today out of that system because they got a huge game coming up next week against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, the Texans had 4 sacks, could have had more. I was really interested to see what Will Anderson would bring to the table. He had a sack, 6 tackles and a sack. Denzel Perryman had a sack. Tavier Thomas had a sack, and Jonathan Grenard had 2 sacks. Raj, what did you think about the defense? And speaking of that, the injury to Marcus Williams, Funny Rob was saying it's a pec injury, shoulder injury. Can't afford to lose him when you're already down 10 in the defensive secondary.
Man, I'm hoping that it's not the torn pec that Michael Pierce had last year. Because if it's that, then he's out for the season. And we cannot afford him to have that. So I'm hoping for the best. I hope it's a minor injury, maybe a month at least. But if it's a torn pec, man, we in trouble, man. We're in serious trouble. Although I do like Geno Stone. Geno Stone can play. He's a serviceable backup. So it's not like we're going to completely fall off the face of the earth with him. We still have a chance with Geno Stone. But this also means that that Marlon Humphrey got to come back as quick as I don't know what. We need him badly. But yeah, man, that's a tough injury. As far as the defense, I thought they played well. Jabo had a sack fumble, which is great. Owe played pretty well. Um, both Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen had a sack and a lot of good tackles. I thought they played extremely well, and they made their rookie quarterback look exactly what he's supposed to look like, a rookie quarterback. So I thought they did an exceptional job on defense. Going forward, I will hope that they stay healthy. That's the main part, especially since Marcus Williams went down, and and Humphrey is already gone. I hope they can stay healthy, and I hope they can find ways to, you know, get as many sacks as possible. But that was a good start for them. The defense played extremely well.
How do you guys feel about these Jonathan Taylor rumors or innuendos? Because you not only got to trade for him, you got to pay him, and running backs ain't getting paid like that.
I take this one. No way. No way. Jonathan Taylor's cool, but he is not going to be a Raven, folks. Ravens are not paying that kind of money after they just paid Lamar Jackson the money. They paid Roquan Smith the money. They're not paying a running back that type of money that Jonathan Taylor deserves. He's not getting that kind of money. Good luck with that one, man.
What did you guys think about
Yeah.
Clowney? I want to get your thoughts on Clowney. Go ahead, Rod. You get your thoughts, and then I want to hear about Clowney as well.
Jonathan Taylor, we don't. We got a lot of running backs that can do a lot of things. He would cost too much money. We got a lot of money that's tied up in Lamar, Humphrey, and a couple other positions that we can't really afford him. So he can stay with the Colts. But as far as Clowney, he was the almost guy today. He had a sack that he could have had, and he completely just missed him. I'm like, come on, man! Like, what are you doing? Like, he brought you in here to get the quarterback, and you just do one of these numbers. You gotta hold on to him, brother. But I thought his pursuit was good. His pursuit of the football was good, and hopefully he does that more often. But he needs to finish. He has to finish, especially against Joe Burrow and Deshaun Watson. You got to finish with those guys. You can't allow them to get away. But as far as the first game, he got after the quarterback pretty well. I am happy about that. So they did get a lot of pressure on C.J. Stroud. He wasn't very comfortable in the pocket. But hopefully going forward, those pursuits can turn into sacks.
D, what do you think about Clowney?
There we go. Thought Clowney played decent. He missed a sack, one of his first plays of the game. But I thought he was there in the run game. I thought him, Oweh, Magabike, both, and Ojabo, they all did well in the run game. And, Clowney's kind of playing that Houston role that Houston was in last year. We're not going to see Clowney start throughout the whole game, but he come in spurts, do his thing. I'm cool with it. We'll see how he does next week because the offensive line of Cincinnati ain't that good, so a lot of guys should do well next week.
That's a perfect segue, D and Raj, because I want to get into next week's game before we go around the NFL and look at this crazy week one. Raj, I'm going to start with you. Going into this game, we knew it was going to be a big game coming into the season when the schedule came out. Cincinnati lost today, which we'll get into in a second. Ravens coming off a win, but injuries to some players that are going to be key. What are you initially looking at this game with the week out? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. We both. They're 0-1. They're going to be hungry to get a win since they started out the season losing against a divisional opponent. So they're going to try to really get after it with us. But it's going to be a tough game. I'm not expecting the Bengals just to lay down. But it's going to be tough, man. I'm hoping Andrews plays. I'm hoping Marlon Humphrey plays because we need them for this game. Yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good again against the Bengals.
Go ahead, D.
Bengals and Ravens always play each other tough. The Bengals are going to play desperate next week. 0-2 in the division, 0-2 as a whole. Usually don't look good for you in the sense of trying to make the postseason once again. Or even winning the AFC North, which they're trying to task to be as the Bengals trying to win it the third straight year. But Should be a fun game next week. Should be a good one. And the Ravens offense got some stuff to tighten up on because they can't play like they played today as a whole. Because if they do, they will lose in Cincinnati for a fourth straight time in Cincinnati. I believe. Fourth straight time in Cincinnati. So can't lose. Can't play the way the offense played today. Defensively, I think they can build on some things, and hopefully we can get the secondary, get some help back. It's not going to be good if Williams is not able to be out there. I know Unc said Stone is a serviceable backup, but how long do you want him out there? Him starting, it's a little iffy. Now, him coming in spurts is cool. Him starting is a scary thing.
Well, let's go around the NFL, guys. Let's take a look at some of these early games. And we got a couple interesting afternoon games as I look at my TV here. We'll get to that in a second. Let's start on Thursday. Feel free, guys, to hop in. Lions beat the Chiefs 21-20. No Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce. But the Lions, they're kind of like the O's were last year, D. They came on strong at the end, built momentum, got some big wins. And now this year they're expected to be good. And looks like they're going to be the best team in that division, especially with Minnesota losing today.
Yeah, I might have to agree. I got a shout out coworker of mine, Terry Robinson. You know, he called that one. He had me thinking. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sold on Detroit. Detroit and the Jets are always the two teams I'm never sold on. You got to show me. But Dan Campbell got something special going on in Detroit, and it's clear right now that it's their division to lose right now. Rest of the three teams ain't looking that good. I know Green Bay, Chicago playing each other now this week. I would say Detroit's definitely the front runner. Mr. Brown, this guy, he is a very good receiver. And I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. Well, maybe never. Jared Goff is actually looking like a real quarterback. Took him some years, but he looks like a real quarterback. Got to give him history.
Roger, did you enjoy seeing the Tribal Chief lose?
I did enjoy that. I felt really happy to see, Kansas City take that L. But he said it all right there. I don't have really much to add. The Lions do look like a team that's going to, be one of those teams that are a sleeper and might make the playoffs this year with, Mr. Bite Kneecaps, Dan Campbell. So we shall see, man. It is one game, but we shall see what happens going forward with the Lions.
Well, this is for our good brother, good friend Kenny. The Commanders, they almost blew it today, but they got it done.
The Commandos, they was playing with low fire there with the Cardinals. They found a way, How has a poise that's impressive. He don't look like a guy that was only in his second start in the NFL. He has a poise. They do lead. McLaurin didn't play. McLaurin didn't play. Right? And Chase Young not being there, they need these guys to come on back. Washington goes to Denver next week. We'll see how they do in Mile High City, but so far so good. Arizona's who we thought they were. Not a good football team without them.
Oh, McLaurin did play D. Only 2 catches, though, for 31 yards. And then I think our boy Hollywood had 3 for 28, Raj, for the Cardinals.
Wow.
That's Washington wins. Washington wins 20-16.
So Zay had a better day than never mind.
You guys, Hammer was dancing. Well, in what's the new stadium? Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. 30-7, the 49ers beat them like a drum, y'all. I know you guys got to enjoy that.
Yes, I did. I didn't see the games, of course, but anytime the Steelers lose, it's a great day. It's a great day. Even when I'm having a bad day, a little bit, it's still a great day to see the Steelers take their ass with it. So, yes.
Did Byron and Roger both, did the draft boards last year make a mistake on Purdy, man? It clearly looked like they had. This guy can play ball. He can play. Pickett still had some rookie moments out there today, and wasn't good for the old Steelers there. They got to pick it up because I think they got Cleveland next, don't they?
Yep.
Cleveland comes in, and Cleveland could be 2-0 in the division. That's a scary thought to have in the wacky AFC North.
That is your Monday night game for week 2, Cleveland at Pittsburgh, and I'm going with them now. I think Cleveland's going to win, D. I agree. They could be 2-0 on the division. Jaguars, Colts, 31-21. Jaguars, we all expect them to win this division. I was more or less interested in Anthony Richardson to see what he was going to bring to the table.
Yeah, I saw that it was a gunfight. Of course, Anthony Richardson, was a rookie. But, what I saw, I thought he played well. He almost could have won the game. But, of course, Trevor Lawrence is just a bad boy, man. So hats off to the Jaguars for getting that first win.
Byron, I'm gonna give Mr. Richardson some credit, man. I was watching him a little bit, and out the rookies today, he really hung in there. He got hurt at the end, but they took the lead at one point on Jacksonville. And, Taylor come back hopefully, and some weapons come. Within a year or so, the Colts might be legit if their owner can get out their way. But Jacksonville, like Roger just said, they're the class of the AFC South, and it's their division to lose. Though.
Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Falcons could be a sneaky team, D.
Ugly. Bowl and shoe ugly game. Ugly. Carolina, Mr. Bryce Young had his rookie jitters today. Wasn't as good. Ritter's the quarterback name for Atlanta, right? He was there. They used a lot of their skill positions to get it done, but it wasn't a game that you wanted to really watch like that, unless you're a fan base. It was ugly. Well, it was the second ugliest game of the day. I know you'll get to the first one here in a second. The Saints.
Any thoughts, Raj?
Nope, no thoughts.
Well, Saints beat the Titans 16-15, D, as you said. Very ugly game. Anybody want to take that one?
I ain't see it, so I can't really comment on it. What was the final score?
16-15. You didn't miss anything, like D said.
Yeah.
I watched it in front of me earlier. How is you, as my man, I'm shouting him out again, Terry. Used car, that's what he called him. What used car he needs to not start anymore. He looked awful. And Tannehill do too, quite frankly. I mean, get both of them out of there. Time to let Levis start for Tennessee. Let the crab man Jameis start for the Saints, man, because neither team offense did anything, and it looked very pedestrian to say the least.
The shocker of the day in the 1 o'clock window: Buccaneers 20 over the Vikings 20-17. Baker Mayfield played pretty well.
Bad loss for the Vikings at home. You don't want to start the year off with a Tampa team that had a lot of questions at the quarterback spot overall. But, Justin Jefferson thought he was going to get paid. He didn't get his money. Tampa Bay's leading receiver Evans thought he was going to get paid, and he didn't get his money either. So, two guys that might be a little disgruntled as the season goes on, but Minnesota needs to get a quarterback, man, because Byron, your cousin, ain't it. Just ain't it. He's okay. That's all he is.
No, he's not.
He's just a guy.
Nope. He's not. Raj, how you feel about the Vikings game? Any thoughts?
No thoughts. Most of these games I didn't see because I was too busy attending to Disney.
Well, Hammer was laying the hammer, not only with AEW in Ohio last night, but with the Browns beating the Bengals in the Battle of Ohio, 24-3. I mean, the Bengals didn't even score a touchdown, D.
I mean, I had Burrow on one of my fantasy teams, so it was like my man only had like 3 points. So, but I thought coming into the game, Burrow, didn't play. He was hurt. Thought a lot was going on there with Cincinnati. And I thought, this opening day, Washington's got a full off season with Cleveland. I think, they was gonna sneak him. He didn't play well either, though. So it wasn't like it was him. It was the Browns' running game and Browns' defense that really dominated the game. Both quarterbacks. I don't know the weather played a factor. I know the weather wasn't pretty, but that ain't an excuse because the weather here wasn't that great, and the weather in New England definitely not that good. But it's not a good not a good loss to Cincinnati, even though this is a division. So we know next week they're going to be desperate in the Browns. I might do it, Byron. I might join you on that ship, man. At 2-0. I think I'm joining.
Yeah, D, like you said, if their defense and running game continues this, Watson just has to drive the car. Just don't crash the car. That's all he got to do. Raj, how you feel about it? Joe Burrow only 82 yards passing, under 100 yards.
Wow, only 82 yards passing? Really? That's interesting. He just got paid, didn't he? Did he just get? Isn't he the
Yes, he
highest
did.
paid quarterback in all of football?
Highest paid player in NFL history, Raj.
Oh, that's right, NFL history. Okay, yes, that's embarrassing. 82 yards is embarrassing. Um, but I'm pretty, like I said before, there's only one game. I'm pretty sure next week he's going to look a lot better against the Baltimore Ravens. So let me not say too much, because we have to see these guys in Cincinnati. But yeah, man, that's a bad start to the season. I expect Joe Burrow to bounce back and have a pretty good game going into next week against us.
Well, we love here on the Flex Zone, and Jordan Love is playing pretty good today in place of you guys' boy. I did pick the Packers in this game, so I feel good. The Bears are the Bears. 38-14. Looks like the Packers are going to win this one easily, guys. And the Packers, they still might be a playoff team, guys. They got that defense.
I had picked the Bears to win because I was the one weird divisional prediction out every year, and I had the Bears edging out the Lions by one game to win the NFC North. So I had to go on. I had to be a man of my convictions, but yeah, the Bears ain't getting it. Hey, I'm off that bandwagon. After one game, I'm off that ship. Justin Fields has disappointed me today. You're at home. You can't lose to Green Bay after the Packers pretty much told Aaron Rodgers to get the hell out. Can't lose. I mean, the Packers own the Bears, man. It's supposed to be the oldest rivalry in football, but it's the oldest beatdown in football. Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears. Brett Favre owned the Bears. Bart Starr owned the Bears back in the 60s, man. It's like, damn, man, y'all can't get it right. At some point, Chicago Bears, get it right, man, against Green Bay, man. Stop getting owned every year. We tired of y'all being on either national TV or a late Sunday window talking about we ready for the Packers, and the Packers own y'all all the time, man.
Yeah, it's different year, same story. Raj, any thoughts on the Packers Bears? I know you got your wonderful, delicious wings, like it looks like.
Cheese sticks. But yeah, I got a thought. I picked the Packers. I told you we're gonna feel some love this Sunday. I didn't think it was gonna feel this much love though. My God, this is some real love. I'm sorry, my friend, but the Chicago Bears got their asses kicked. But it's okay. Yeah. There you go, Byron. There you go. But yes. The love sign. There you go. The love sign. Yes. Shout out to Jordan Love and the Packers. Their cheese heads are cheesing it up. And I expected this, so I don't got no more thoughts.
Yeah, shout out to us, Raj, for picking the Packers. Eagles, Patriots. Eagles started out on fire, but 22-14. Ugly weather game in Boston. We saw the Orioles game was ugly as well. Eagles look like they're going to try to hold on.
The Patriots is going to be like this. They're going to struggle on offense, but have like 2 or 3 really good series to make people think, oh, it's looking good. And that's what they kind of did. They had 2 back-to-back touchdowns, and then offense just struggled, man. And Tony Romo said it right. The best quarterback might be getting honored here in the game today. He said it right. I might have to agree with old Tony Romo that Tom Shady Brady is probably still the best quarterback that's in a Patriot jersey today. But he's not playing. The Patriots defense, again, Belichick's a great defensive mind, man. So he knows defense. They've been able to slow Hurts down. The weather, I think, has slowed Hurts down as well. But the Eagles and 49ers right now look like the 2 best teams in the NFC. And then everybody else in the NFC look like they're playing catch-up ball. I'll put Detroit in like the middle. I'll put Detroit behind the 49ers and the Eagles. And then after Detroit, everybody else is kind of playing catch-up.
Raj?
I don't got no thoughts.
Um, let's go to another shocker at the 4 o'clock window. Looks like the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks 27-13.
You know, a lot of people
Whoa,
talking about. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Damn, I didn't see that comment, man, because the Seahawks look like a really good team. But maybe the Rams, maybe they just got their numbers. So, I mean, did Geno Smith have a good game, or did he struggle? I'm not sure.
Geno is, I got you right now, Raj. He is 16 of 26, 112 yards, no turnovers, and a touchdown. So not losing the game.
Not losing the game, but not doing a lot to win the game either. Very disappointing in the Seahawks. Hopefully they bounce back next week. Shout out to the Rams for winning the game.
Wasn't sure about the Rams. You know, Stafford's the second oldest quarterback in football right now. The Rams had a lot of injured pieces. You know, they still got one in Cooper Cup. For them not to play, and for them to kind of own Seattle up there in the 12th man, yeah, it's not good, Pete. Pete Carroll's not good for you, buddy. But it was a lot of hype on Seattle, and I was kind of like, I want to see. I'm not. You know, Geno did it for 1 year, but I got to see it for a couple years. Well, I'm a believer. And the 49ers are the class of the NFC West. Maybe the Rams might be second, and then we know Arizona's last. Arizona's dead. Until Murray comes back, they're not even in the conversation.
We got an AFC West showdown. Raiders leading the Broncos 17-16. 3 minutes left. Raiders have the ball. Boy, Russell Wilson can't get it done.
He can't get right. Can't get right. You know, it's bad when you coach before the year talking about focus on what's on the field and not on Russell Ain't. And Bubba, you know, he got Sierra, he got them goodies, but he might be washed up too. Let's hope that don't happen as the season goes on. Because who's the quarterback of the Raiders again?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, well, Jimmy know a lot about women and Burry's aspects and Jacobs.
Jimmy?
Yeah, there you go. Jacobs is not having a great day either, so you can think again. Okay, Jacobs is running the show with the Raiders, but it's not him. So never gotta step it up, man. Because if not, they change the coach. It's gonna be on you, Russell.
Raj, no less ride today.
Let's ride, I guess, to nowhere.
This is one of the games of the weekend right now, and it looks like it's living up to the hype. 31-30 right now. Chargers, Dolphins. Chargers up by 1. Tua is slinging that ball all over the field today, and they took the over. They are going over. 7 minutes left. This could go down to the wire. Chargers.
I picked the Dolphins to win this game. I'm more sold on them than the Chargers. You hear the hype on Herbert. You hear the hype on the Chargers every year, and they don't get it done. And then the playoff loss last year in Jacksonville was very embarrassing. Thought Nancy and them should have been in Charger land, but you know, with Tom Brady and all that, they got to go to Foxborough. But I thought that was going to be the best 4 o'clock game. Miami and the Chargers living up to it, and we'll see how things go because Miami's missing that running back, even though I forget the running back's name for the Dolphins. He actually had a touchdown, Monster. So I think they're just missing that one running back piece, man. And the Dolphins gonna be right there, man. Gonna be right there as one of the teams to talk about in the AFC.
Raj, I think we both picked the Dolphins too. We picked the Dolphins also.
Yeah, we both picked the Dolphins. I'm not surprised because I expected a gunfight, but I still think the Dolphins can take it. You know, if they do some things on defense. We shall see. Still a little bit of time left.
Tonight we have Cowboys, Giants, and tomorrow we get to see y'all boy Duck Dodger debut in New York as the Jets host the Bills. Get you guys quick thoughts on those two games.
I'm taking Dallas tonight, Buffalo tomorrow, but I heard a lot of the pregame shows talk about Dallas. This is a big year for the Cowboys because Dak's cap hit next year, guys, $60 million. That's why Jerry went out and got Lance as a backup piece. Because if Dak don't get it done this year, he's got to go. They ain't paying nobody $60 million cap hit wise, and he ain't getting it done, man. So big year for the Cowboys. We'll see what they do, and like you guys said, big year for the Jets. No, they got Rodgers, they got Cook, they got all these weapons. We'll see what they do. But again, you got to sell me, Jets. I ain't sold. Aaron Rodgers, you was my homie. You betrayed me. Went to them slutty Jets, and now you might pay the piper if you don't get it done.
I agree with D. The Cowboys got to get it done this season. Dak, this might be Dak's last year as a Cowboy because of that cap hit. And they got the weapons to do it. They got the defense to do it. But we'll see what happens. I did pick the Cowboys going into tonight. So I got the winner. But yeah, like D said, this is put up or shut up for Dak Prescott. No more excuses.
All right, fellas, that's pretty much all we have. Any final words to leave everybody with until next week for the next episode of the Baltimore Ravens postgame show as we went through all the games?
Let me just say this, man. The atmosphere at Ravens Stadium was electric. It was great to see. Glad that football is back. Like I said, I feel bad for J.K. Dobbins because the season in his career as a Raven might be over with after the season. So that really sucks. And it goes to show that that you gotta get paid as an NFL player. You gotta get your money. And I wasn't mad that he was trying to get his money in the offseason, that he held out for a couple weeks. But damn, man, the first game of the season, that's tough. That is tough. So well wishes to him. Hopefully Marcus Williams is okay, and everybody else that got hurt. But yeah, man, that's just a tough pill to swallow. But it's the NFL for you. So yeah, that's all I got. Until next week, fellas. You know what time it is.
Yes, sir. You enjoy those cheese sticks and those wings. D, any last words for the
Yep.
people? How can they keep up with you?
Quick last words. The Ravens defense definitely something to be proud of. The front seven played very well. Offense still a work in progress. We're gonna take it week by week, and you can follow me on Dive Sporting Network on all platforms, on the X, Twitter, whatever they call it now. Dive Sporting Network.
Appreciate you, D. Appreciate you, Raj. If you haven't already, hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Sound off in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. We'll be live tomorrow. Monday Night Football post-game show, basically, because we'll be coming on as that game's ending. We'll be talking about the Week 1 happenings, recapping the picks, and, of course, looking forward to Week 2. We'll get Cavante's thoughts on his Commanders and his Goofy of the Week as well. We'll be live throughout the week with our live streams and all that good stuff. And, of course, back next Sunday after the Ravens and Bengals do battle in Cincinnati. Again, follow D online at DieSportNet. Hit the like button, subscribe. Go ahead and make sure you vote on that poll. And as always, it's the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place fellas give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
When you need it.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching. Funny Rob, Big Reg, Justin, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys for the support. Kenny, shout out again to your Commanders for the win. And as always, hit that bell to know when new videos drop each and every day on the Flex Zone Podcast. We're going out of here. We're getting out of here. It's been a long day. Raj got to eat. D has to see what happens in these rest of these goofy games. And I'm signing off as well. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again for watching the Baltimore Ravens postgame show. We'll see you next week.